as we take a look at tonight's Tale of the Tape, presented by Bud Light. Bud Light, here we go. Jesse Brock, 35, compared to the 32-year-old Noah Ali. They are even at 5'8". They are near even at 134 pounds. And the reach advantage, two inches for Noah Ali over Jesse Brock. One of the things that might be more worthy of discussion comparison-wise is overall fight experience. Jesse Brock with 31 career professional fights. Noah Ali with just 12. As we go inside the cage to Matt Johnson to announce tonight's main event.
It is time for the main event. This fight is for the Front Street Fights Bantamweight champion, and it is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds and is brought to you by bodybuilding.com, the world's #1 online supplement store with the best selection and fastest shipping. First, fighting out of the B2 Digital blue corner, he stands in at 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 134.6 pounds. Representing Champions Creed of Martial Arts from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Let's welcome Noah, the chosen defender, Ali. And fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 134.2 pounds, with a professional record of 22 wins to just 9 defeats. Representing Combat Fitness SBG Idaho, from Boise, Idaho, let's welcome Jesse Brock. Your referee in charge of the action when the fight begins is Mr. Tom Subnett. Tom Subnett, fighter's instructions, please.
Okay, guys, this is for the Front Street Fight Bantamweight title. I want a good, clean fight. And follow my instructions at all times and defend yourself at all times. Touch them up.
Here we go, fight fans. It is time for the main event. It is time for a downtown throwdown.
The main event of Front Street Fights 12, Ali Brock, Jesse Brock, Noah Ali, ready to fight for the first ever Bantamweight title belt. And round 1 is underway. It'll be 5 5-minute rounds. Jesse Brock has gone 5 5-minute rounds once in his career back in 2011. Noah Ali never has. Matt, Noah just says that means there's 2 more rounds for fun.
Exactly. You know, again, this is the first time that Noah's had to potentially go the full 5 minutes in a championship fight. Second fight, we've seen that. A leg kick by Jesse Brock and a slip there. You know, Noah definitely cool, calm, very confident coming into this fight tonight. We talked about it on our Facebook Live hit earlier this afternoon. He said it in a couple of interviews. Really calls, you know, to not his credit, calls Jesse Brock a one-dimensional fighter. And as you can see, Jesse Brock going in for the single leg takedown. Gets that takedown on Noah Ali, just 45 seconds into round number 1. Again, the strength of Jesse Brock wrestling on the ground somewhere where Noah Ali does not want to be.
And Matt, Jesse Brock, I talked to him. He says, yes, I think my grappling is my strength, my jiu-jitsu, but at the same time, he says he trains with so many of the fighters at SBG that we've seen tonight. He coaches them. That gives him a variety of different body types, guys with different strengths. So that makes him a well-rounded fighter, and of course, his resume speaks for itself. As Noah Ali in the corner, pinned against the cage. Ali with 5 submission wins, as I mentioned just a few moments ago, all of them in the first round. So both of these fighters with strengths on the ground, and Ali with the talent that he could end a fight quickly.
Having watched a little bit of Noah's fight, you know, again, you mentioned those 5 submission victories in the first round. Definitely a fast fighter, but what he's going to experience here, you know, Jesse Brock can be very slow and methodical as he throws the right hand there, and the crowd here at CenturyLink Arena is starting to come alive, chanting for the man they call Boots, Jesse Brock.
Jesse Brock said some of these fights early on, sometimes you can tell if it's going to go the distance or if it's going to be a lengthy bout, and then it might turn into a little bit of a chess match. There aren't a lot of fighters we see in the FSF cage smarter than Jesse Brock, Matt.
Very much so, as you saw there. Jesse doing a really good job keeping Noah pressed against the cage. Noah's got a little bit of a wide stance going on, and now when he can, Jesse using that right knee to the inside of Noah's right leg, definitely trying to weaken the stance there as he counters that with a left to a left there, another right to a right. Jesse doing a very good job keeping it slow where he wants it and really just taking his time in his shots.
As we're at the midway point of this first round, and you can see Jesse Brock with those right knees. He's hitting the outside of that left quad on Ali, and that's one of those things that when we had Scott here in the booth with us, he was mentioning those hurt more than they look.
They do hurt more than they look, and while they may not look too painful right off the bat, over time, the more and more you land those, the more and more that they're going to take their effect as this fight goes on. Again, as you mentioned, Brian, this fight, five-minute round, so the more shots you take from a knee to the leg, you know, it's going to have its effect. And I think the most interesting thing here to watch, to me, again, Jesse doing a great job there, as I was just about to mention, the height and the reach advantage to Noah Ali to Jesse Brock. Huge advantage to Noah Ali, but Jesse not afraid to duck in there, take a shot if he needs to. Good job sweeping the leg to get the takedown for Jesse Brock as we come up on 1.5 minutes left to go in round number 1.
That's again for Jesse Brock, just establishing position on top of Noah Ali. And you look at Noah Ali's face, he's also just got a look of patience. Both of these guys just looking for their window, but Jesse Brock so far has been the aggressor. A little over 1 minute to go here in round 1.
Both corners calling in their instructions to their fighters as we get a close-up look with just 1 minute left in round number 1 of our main event for the Bantamweight title. Could be in a little bit of a guillotine choke right here. Noah Ali trying to lock it again. Jesse Brock not too much. You can see the look on Jesse Brock's face. It does not have. Noah Ali does not have. It does not appear to have the arm under Jesse's chin at this point. Tom Subnet doing a good job checking in on Jesse. Noah Ali giving it all he has. Great job by Jesse Brock withstanding that hold again. As bad as it looked, Jesse Brock did not freak out there. Did not lose his cool, his patience.
And once he got loose, Matt, he goes on the offensive again.
Again, that's the smarts of Jesse Brock as we come up with 15 seconds left here in round number 1. This our main event for the Front Street Fights Bantamweight Championship. Probably one of the most polished, methodical fighters in Front Street Fights that we've had over the 3 years that we've had this promotion. As we get through round number 1, again, just when things may have looked bad there, as Noah Ali trying to lock in that front choke there on Jesse Brock, you didn't see a lot of panic.
Both
as
fighters
we go to the
certainly.
Project Filter replay, brought to you by Project Filter. You decide when, it will show you how. Visit projectfilter.org. Noah Ali going for that left head kick there. Good job by Jesse Brock ducking those punches and getting the double leg takedown.
But one of the interesting things, you see what a good job Jesse Brock does along the cage wall here, and we're going to get a look here at really the most dangerous portion of the first round for Jesse Brock, that hold around the chin by Noah Ali. Brock does a good job to break free of it.
Well, and again, as you saw there, as dangerous as it may have looked, Jesse having the wherewithal to really tuck that chin to prevent Noah Ali from getting the arm there. In the position that Jesse was in, if Noah was able to secure the arm under the chin, that's where Jesse would have been in a lot more danger than he was as we get ready for round number 2.
One of the interesting things, and MJ, I'll ask you what the implications are. It may mean nothing as much as significant. I think that fight, a lot of time on the cage, Jesse Brock in good positioning. Noah Ali, I said, what's the difference fighting on U.S. soil? He said, there isn't much of a difference. Cage size might be a difference.
We've heard that from a couple of fighters. You know, different promotions, different areas do have different cage sizes. You know, ours definitely one of the smaller ones that we have. But again, it depends on where you train, what gym you train with, and if you have a cage at your gym, what size. You know, we've heard from a couple of fighters from SBGI, their cage being smaller than this one, so they have all day to run.
There's
free
a great
as
takedown.
Jesse Brock gets Noah back down to the ground, gets back position. He is trying to go for the rear naked choke. 4:25 left in round number 2.
As you mentioned before, Matt, you can see Ali really trying to dig that chin down, and also using that left arm well.
Again, Noah's got to be very careful here what body position he gives Jesse Brock. Jesse Brock has, while pressed against the cage, has firm control of Noah, has the legs in, has, you know, basically the heel hooks in on Noah, is really just waiting for Noah to see what he's going to give him. So at this point, Jesse can kind of wait and see. Going for the rear naked choke. Noah doing a good job getting that arm up, making it tougher for Jesse.
And Jesse Brock, as you mentioned, he's in no hurry. He's going to take what he's given, and for now, he's in a position of strength.
Referee Tom Sumner giving them the warning that they better start moving, or he will stand them back up again. As you can see on your screen, hashtag Bantamweight title. This will be the first Bantamweight title awarded in Front Street Fights history. Jesse Brock doing a good job stretching Noah out with his leg control.
And you hear the corner from Noah Ali. They're shouting Archer back to break out. He does a nice job to do just that.
As both fighters are back up to their feet with just about 3 minutes left, 2 minutes gone by in our second round. Both fighters back to a standing position,
which we haven't seen a lot of in the first 2 rounds of this fight.
No, a lot of Jesse Brock fights, you may not see that again. His strength really lies in, unlike what Noah said, Jesse is not really a one-dimensional fighter. He'll take this any way you give him.
To quote Jesse Brock, when I talked to him before the fight, he says, you know I do well on the ground. I can get to the ground, but if he gives me a chance to punch him in the face, I will.
As he went right there, great move by Jesse Brock, faking the overhand right, ducking under Noah's left, getting in there, going for the single leg takedown. Gets it. Noah doing a great job trying to defend it. And you can see Noah trying to use his quickness, but Jesse Brock, again, persistence is key. Stays with those legs, very patient, gets Noah back down and ground against the cage.
As you mentioned, that was a great adjustment in midair by Noah Ali to get that right foot back down to the mat and try to control that descent.
Two minutes left in round number 2 of our main event, Front Street Fights 12, presented by bodybuilding.com, live on Cable 1 Channel 72 and at youtube.com/Front Street Fights. Of course, being brought to you by B2 Digital Trading at BTG. At this point, Noah just kind of trying to ride the storm. Jesse, again, waiting to see what Noah is going to give him to see where he's going to go with his next move. Trying to sneak in a couple of right shots.
And this is interesting. One of the things that Noah Ali told us before the fight, a big part of his training, getting ready for this fight, knowing how good Jesse Brock is on the ground, is positional sparring, putting himself in the most disadvantageous positions he can to work his way out of them.
I would say this is probably one of them.
And to his credit, as Jesse Brock, the control he's had body position wise so far in this fight, Noah Ali's done a fairly good job managing that damage.
And you can see right now, Noah doing the smart thing, being very calm, very patient, really following Jesse's hands, knowing that's what he needs to look out for the most, whether it's a shot, whether it's going in for a choke. As again, Jesse Brock uses the knees right to the right side of Noah Ali. And we kind of were talking about it a little bit earlier. It was a knee shot to the kidney of Bendy Casimir that won Jesse Brock his main event at Front Street Fights 3. Noah trying to go for a little bit of a Superman punch right there. 25 seconds left in round number 2. You can almost kind of see it. We've seen this from a few times. Noah Ali realizing that he's been under the control of Jesse Brock for the better part of both rounds at this point, trying to land almost a haymaker, a home run hit in this final 10 seconds of round number 2. Going for that Superman kick again. Jesse Brock doing a great job ducking under it and getting Noah Ali pressed up back against the cage. Something we've seen time and time again. Noah Ali not afraid to go for the big moves, but Jesse Brock having the patience to dip, dive, dodge, and duck them, basically. Little dodgeball reference there as we go to the Project Filter replay. Brought to you by Project Filter. You decide when. We'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org.
As here we see Jesse Brock again pressing Noah Ali's back against the cage. I think this speaks to one of the things that Scott Jorgensen, there's the takedown that Brock's able to do with that positioning, but Scott Jorgensen in the Jones versus Fry fight talked about cage positioning. As now Noah Ali, one of the things he did well also during this fight, although he spent a lot of time along the cage wall, he's done a good job getting out of it. But this is managing the cage, as Scott Jorgensen was talking about, but also doing something productive with it. Jesse Brock is scoring points.
As we get ready for round number 3, again, don't forget that the title fights go to round number 5. As you see what both of these men are fighting for, the Front Street Fights Bantamweight title. One of them is going to leave that with around their waist.
MJ polished it this morning.
I did, actually.
It's got to be shiny for prime time.
It does. Here we go with round number 3, our main event for the Bantamweight title between Jesse Brock and Noah Ali. one thing you got to think that Noah Ali does not want to get himself into a position, as we kind of saw towards the end of the second round there, doesn't really want to kind of start freak out and adjusting his game plan. Really still, you know, he's got 3 more rounds to go here, excuse me, 2 more rounds after this. There's still time right now.
Absolutely, we've already learned tonight, particularly with the win, although it was on the amateur card by Colton Armas, it only takes 1 opportunity, 1 window to open up. And right now, Jesse Brock has made very good adjustments to everything that Noah Ali has shown him.
Colton,
a good left.
Excuse me, Noah Ali countering with a good left there. Good leg kick there by Jesse Brock.
You hear one corner shouting for the flying knee again. You hear another corner saying, look out for that flying knee.
Noah Ali going for the front kick. Noah coming very dangerously close to connecting to an uppercut, but Jesse Brock again getting Noah Ali down to the ground right where he wants him. And this is where Jesse Brock is so methodical and so dangerous, and that position that Noah Ali needs to get out of and get out of quick.
You actually saw Noah Ali as soon as he went to the ground on his hands and on his backside, scooting to that corner again to at least protect the back. Jesse Brock is to his feet.
Jesse Brock going for back position.
And getting that right leg locked around the right of Ali as
rights
well.
In there again, trying to show that maybe going for a rear naked choke, really trying to make Noah defend every move that he's going to try and throw at this point.
Just under 2 minutes gone by here in round 3, and again, this is pretty much what we've seen for the majority of this fight. Particularly after these Brock takedowns, he's been able to take advantage of those and get extended periods of body positioning.
You know, obviously you saw it in the co-main event. The fans go crazy. They love to see the knockouts, but from this is what you really get to see and really appreciate about the sport of mixed martial arts. It's not just one thing. It's not one thing or another. It's all about people using their strengths and being able to switch up. As you see, Jesse Brock's not afraid to stand and bang with the best of them, but again, he's going to get you down. He's going to make you work for it. And again, we've said it time and time again, methodical. Jesse Brock taking 3 or 4 shots right there, able to block that leg kick, or excuse me, that head kick attempt by Noah Ali. Both men back up with 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in round number 3.
As you mentioned, methodical, and Jesse Brock said he's prepared for a chess match if that's what it was going to be.
You noted the difference maybe in conditioning at this point. Jesse Brock doing a really good job keeping his hands up. Noah Ali, as time goes on, those hands start to get lower and lower, which is going to make him more susceptible to a punch or a kick to the head by Jesse Brock. Again, a move that Jesse Brock has scouted perfectly through 3 rounds. An uppercut attempt by Noah Ali, able to get him pressed up against the cage. Withstands about 2 or 3 elbows right there. Again, Jesse Brock doing a very good job. Noah Ali coming with a few offensive flurries here late in this 3rd round.
Matt, the uppercuts and the flying kicks as well. Jesse Brock has definitely seen those coming. He's made good adjustments.
Outside kick to an inside kick with 1:39 left in round number 3. Jesse Brock going for that overhand right into a takedown, able to get him pressed up against the cage.
One of the things I heard a lot of, past Front Street fight broadcasts, including from Mitch Coates, he talks about changing the level, and we've seen Jesse Brock a few times. He goes for those punches up high, and then as soon as Ali defends, that's when you see Brock go in for the body locks like he gets in position along the wall.
As we come up to 1:05 left in round number 3 of our main event for the Front Street Fights Bantamweight title. Noah doing a really good job at this point, making Jesse work for it while he has him pressed up against the cage. A little bit different than what we've seen throughout the rest of the fight.
And you wonder in these positions, like you said, Ali's trying to limit the opportunities for Brock. Brock is trying to maintain that position. Now they'll be broken up and move back to the middle, but
referee Thompson is doing a good job of that.
How much of the energy management as well for both of these fighters, because we do see them, like you said, they're picking their shots.
Absolutely. Obviously, you're conditioned to go 3 3-minute rounds, but once you get into that title fight, you've got to know, regardless of whether the fact that a fight can end at any time, you've got those 2 extra rounds that you may have to go to. Good knee kick there by by Noah Ali. And the way this fight's going, as much control as Jesse's shown, Noah Ali has withstanded a good amount of it as we approach the final 10 seconds around number 3, showing this fight could go the distance.
There's another big haymaker from Ali, gets a few shots in on Brock as the round comes to an end. And
he's going for the sportsmanship there.
got him a little bit after the whistle, I suppose, or the horn, I should say. But again, I think the biggest of that flurry, I think the biggest haymaker from Ali is one that went just over the top of the head of Jesse Brock.
Absolutely. As we go to the Project Filter replay, brought to you by Project Filter. You decide when. We'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org. Again, we saw this through the first couple of rounds there. Noah Ali swinging for the fences. Jesse doing a good job getting under those punches and back down to the ground where he likes to be able to control the fight.
And here you see at the end of that, you see Noah Ali scooting his way back to the corner, trying to put himself in a position where he'll be able to get out of it. But again, once Jesse Brock's along the wall, he's done a good job. Here is towards the middle.
One of those offensive flurries there that we saw from Noah Ali.
Fighting
a
his
left
way off the
elbow,
wall.
right elbow, going again for the end of that combination. Another head kick there. So,
but it's interesting how a lot for Ali, those best flurries have really been ways to fight himself off the wall. They haven't followed through to more offense than that. It's almost been resetting in the middle of the ring.
And as you might have saw there, might have been a little fireworks afterwards, but if you can hear it, Noah Ali said he was trying to fist bump Jesse at the end of that round. So definitely no ill will as we get ready for our fourth round.
And they demonstrate that again at the beginning with another glove tap.
Jesse going for the kick to the right side of Ali's body, not really connecting. Again, that's one of the disadvantages that Jesse may fight in a lot of opponents is his stature. I mean, he's short. You know, doesn't have the reach that most of his opponents have, but that doesn't make a difference to Jesse. He's not afraid to take a fight who may be taller and, you know, put him at that disadvantage.
And we've heard from Scott Jorgensen too, especially with the striking angles. They do matter.
Second time we've seen Jesse go for a front kick there and slip to the ground. Good job though of recovery. Noah really not able to capitalize on the advantage he had there.
This might be the longest we spend in the middle of the cage in this fight, Matt.
Well, another thing you want to watch for is cage control. Really, Jesse doing a great job of that, controlling it at the center of the cage, making Noah Ali move and work to try to gain back that control. Another thing that you see a lot from Jesse Brock as we are about a minute 5 into round number 4 of our main event of Front Street Fights 12, presented by bodybuilding.com. Live on Cable 1 Channel 72 and at youtube.com/Front Street Fights, brought to you by B2 Digital Trading at BTG. Those outside kicks coming from both fighters. And again, Jesse Brock withstanding the offensive maneuvers of Noah Ali. Can't tell if he has it locked in at this point. Again, looks pretty much the same as we saw earlier. Jesse Brock doing a really good job of keeping the chin tucked to his chest, able to withstand that pressure. Again, Noah.
And now Noah Ali again with his back against the cage. Ali's had 2 really good opportunities for the submission choke on Jesse Brock, once in the first round and then here in the fourth.
And you're going to see that a lot of times. You're going to see that a lot of times from the more veteran fighters who've been through this before, time and time again. You know, as soon as that choke goes in, it gets, you know, pretty hairy from where we're standing in. But what we can't tell is whether or not he gets the arm under the chin, which both times that Noah Ali has gone for that move, Jesse Brock's done the wise thing and the smart thing in getting that chin tucked, not allowing him to definitely set it in what could be a fight-ending choke. As we pass the halfway of round number 4 between Noah Ali and Jesse Brock, this for the Front Street Fights Bantamweight title. As you can see, hashtag Bantamweight title on the top right of your screen. If you'd like to join us on social media tonight, we'd love to hear your thoughts, your comments, what you've thought of the fight card so far.
As again, Jesse Brock has Ali against the cage from his fight corner. They're saying this is the time, and now he has back position. His back position, getting that left leg wrapped around inside the left thigh of Ali, and he's trying to...
And Noah doing the smart thing and turning the right side of his body into that cage, not allowing Jesse to get full back position and really lock in the hooks, which would give absolute control to Jesse Brock. Again, Jesse driving him in the cage, really pressing Noah up again. They're really making him work for it. And again, Noah trying to go for that guillotine choke. Not having any success with it. Now Jesse very close to having back position, hooking in the right hook as we come up to 90 seconds left in round number 4. Jesse's corner shouting in instructions to him as we come up to 1:15 left in round number 4.
Ali's corner telling him to grab the wrist of the right hand of Brock, and it makes its way around the throat.
There we go, trying to go for the rear naked choke. Noah Ali has to be careful. Cannot let the arm get under the chin, doing the wise thing, getting the arm up, preventing it from fully locking it in. But again, Jesse now has back position, kind of locking in a figure four lock, so to speak, really controlling the movement. It's going to allow Noah to do, kind of clenching the legs, tightening up on the stomach there, really harnessing the breathing, harboring the breathing, I should say. As we go up to the final 34 seconds of round number 4. Jesse trying to get some shots in there. Noah doing all he can to hang on at this point. Final 20 seconds left in round number 4.
Both these fighters breathing heavy, but Brock, even though he's not able to get that full chokehold, and he's still doing damage with the left.
As this crowd starts chanting for Jesse in the final 10 seconds, one thing that's been said about Jesse is he has got one of the best gas tanks in the fight game and can go the distance. He's proved that time and time again. Haven't really seen a fight yet where he has looked gassed, out of breath, yes, but tired, no, as we come to 4 complete rounds to try to decide the first ever Front Street Fights Bantamweight title as we get ready for the Project Filter replay. Brought to you by Project Filter. You decide when. We'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org.
As Jesse Brock, again, there was just one moment in this round where he got himself in a little bit of a hairy position. It was when he gets his pin down to the ground, and that's a good job by Brock getting leverage on Ali. Eventually, Ali is going to get himself into a position for a chokehold. In this situation, it was another example of Ali taken down, but doing a good job to get himself to the corner, and then Jesse Brock continues to go to work, and that's going to be something interesting. Again, we've seen cage control in this fight, but we've seen cage control with Jesse Brock taking advantage and creating offensive situations. And this is the rear hold towards the end where, as you mentioned, Matt, Noah Ali does a really good job to maintain.
Definitely good job there fending off the rear naked choke attempt by Jesse Brock. Brian, strap in, get ready. We are going to round number 5 to decide the Front Street Fights Bantamweight title. Noah Ali knows what he has to do. He cannot let this fight go the distance. Get ready for some fireworks because here we go.
Mentioned Jesse Brock has gone 5 rounds once before. Noah Ali never has.
Conditioning definitely going to play a part here, as you mentioned. This is the farthest Ali has gone in a fight. No stranger for Jesse.
And Ali's going to have to make some moves, as you mentioned, Matt. He spent most of this fight along the cage wall, so it's going to be a completely different mentality if he's going to take some chances here in the middle of the cage.
Jesse Brock very well knowing that Noah Ali has to finish this fight, being very patient, seeing where Noah Ali is going to come with that offense and waiting to strike at the opportunity. Again, same point, Noah Ali not being a little cautious, not wanting to make that mistake or give up a big move on the part of Jesse.
Spinning backhand there by Ali. I'm not sure if Brock got the hand up to block it, but it was a
Brock connects with a nice overhand right, tries to go for the left, tags the chin just a little bit, but again, Noah Ali, 1 minute into this 5th and final round, is game and ready to go. Jesse Brock, just what Noah Ali did not want to happen, shoots in, able to get Noah pressed up against the cage, and this is where, again, we've said it time and time throughout this fight, Noah Ali does not want to be in this position. You know, he's got 3 minutes and 43 seconds to finish this.
And this would be one of those things that didn't figure into our tail of the tape, but nonetheless, 12 professional fights for Noah Ali. For Jesse Brock, he has 31 professional fights. And Ali says, I've had boxing, Muay Thai, amateurs, I have 20 fights, but we'll see what that experience factor may be for Jesse Brock, as again, he's in a position of strength right now, the way the scorecard probably looks.
No doubt about it, and absolutely to speak to, to counterpoint that, Jesse Brock, a former Pac-10 wrestler at the time at Boise State, I believe 2-time national champion. Do not quote me on that, I could be wrong. Might be conference champion. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in round number 4. Again, Jesse doing a great job going for the back position at this point. Good job by Noah spinning out of it, not letting him get full control. But again, to the counter of that, Jesse relentless in his pursuit, not letting Noah escape until now.
Nice spin off by Noah Ali too, pushing off with the left hand to create some separation, and now he gets back to the middle of the cage.
Left jab by Noah Ali, good block by Jesse Brock. Inside kick there by Jesse Brock.
Noah Ali's corner shouting to him right now, you're chasing him, you're chasing him. As we're halfway through the final round.
Again, at this point, it's all about cage control. Neither one of these fighters wanted to give that up. Neither one of them giving up. Good head kick there by Jesse Brock. Noah Ali able to get the arm up to take some of that punishment off of that kick. Good outside kick by Noah Ali. Noah Ali's corner telling him to go. He's got to go. He's got 2 minutes to finish this fight. Good duck by Jesse Brock in what certainly could have been a damaging left.
As his corner was yelling at him, get off the cage, get off the cage, and that with that one simple duck, he's able to get back to where he has to be.
Good outside kick by Jesse Brock. As we come up to 1:45, Jesse Brock shooting in for the takedown, for the double leg takedown, not able to completely get it. Noah doing a good job spreading the legs, but again, Jesse Brock hasn't pressed up back against the cage, which couldn't be worse for Noah Ali. As we come up to 90 seconds left in our main event, Noah has got to spin out of this. He's got to do it now, and he has got to finish this fight.
You see Jesse Brock right now with his left hand. He has a hold of the right arm of Noah Ali as well. Even pinned against the cages now, Ali spins off. We've already seen Noah Ali with 2 good chokeholds on Jesse Brock that he couldn't finish. That's another thing that has to be in Brock's mind too, as he presses him against the cage wall to stay out of vulnerable spots.
60 seconds left in the main event of Front Street Fights 12. This fight for the Bantamweight title. Jesse Brock in firm control of this one. Noah Ali has 50 seconds to finish this fight. This crowd's starting to come alive. You can hear the chants for Jesse. 40 seconds left. Jesse Brock doing a great job being patient, going in for the inside kick. Trying to go for the head kick. Noah Ali sitting back and relaxing. He can't relax much longer. 25 seconds left in this main event. Noah chasing him around the cage, tries to go for that knee kick, not able to quite get it. Another outside kick by Noah Ali as we come up to the final 15 seconds, 14 seconds, connects with a left and a right. He's got 10 seconds to try and finish this fight. He is going to empty the gas tank. Jesse Brock with a single leg takedown to end the main event of Front Street Fight 12. It is almost academic at this point. One would think that the belt is going home with boots.
And again, we talk about how well Jesse Brock managed this entire fight positionally, and you saw Noah Ali, he had to take a chance, he had to do something at the end, and Brock takes the ball out of his hands by taking him down to the mat.
He was confident coming in. Some people said that maybe this was a fight that Noah Ali didn't know he was not supposed to win.
Yep.
He certainly fought through that the entire time. Props to Noah Ali for coming in here, his first U.S. fight. We'll get to more of that as we get to the Project Filter replay brought to you by Project Filter. You decide when, we'll show you how. Visit projectfilter.org. Here is one of those damaging leg kicks you're going to see here coming up in just a minute. Right there, Noah Ali, however, doing a good job getting the arm up to really fend off the full damage.
As we get a look, a couple more leg kicks. They traded those throughout the bout, but here towards the end, Noah Ali, he's got to do something. He's got to take a chance. And Jesse Brock, as we saw all day, was able to duck under and take Ali down to the ground. Ali with a last effort for a chokehold that did not beat the clock as time ran out, and it appears that the Bantamweight title belt for Front Street Fights may stay in Boise, but let's get the steady answer going inside the cage. Well, not quite yet, I apologize. We're not quite ready, but one of the things that, you know, Noah Ali came in with a lot of confidence, and you can see why. He really managed that fight. He was patient. Jesse Brock really just never gave him an opening or a flaw, a mistake to truly exploit the 2 or 3 good opportunities that we saw from Noah Ali, those chokeholds along the cage, while Jesse Brock was patient, was able to keep that chin tucked in, outweighed it, and pull out. As now again we see Noah Ali and Jesse Brock in the center of the cage. Show of respect. And both of these fighters very, very impressive. We'll see what the scorecards say. And again, it felt like Jesse Brock, with his cage management throughout the fight, had the body positioning, had the control throughout. And again, for Noah Ali, you got the sense he was kind of weighing. This is a fighter in Ali who 5 submission victories, all of them in the first round. If there was a mistake to exploit, he would have. Brock just never gave it to him. Let's go inside the cage to Matt Johnson for tonight's announcement for the Bantamweight title champion.
How about a nice round of applause for both fighters in tonight's main event? Before we announce the winner, we want to welcome Miss Teen International Maddie Ray Arterberry, who will be presenting tonight's winner with the Front Street Fights Bantamweight title. Now we go to the judges' scorecards as both these fighters win all 5 rounds. Judge Mike Mickelson sees the fight 48-47. Judge Scott Marker scores this fight 50-45. And Judge Lazaro Martinez scores this fight 50-45 in favor of, and now, the Front Street Fights Bantamweight champion, Jesse Brown! Our thanks to Miss Teen International Manny Ray Arteberry for presenting Jesse Brock with this title tonight as you get your swag back here from our friends at bodybuilding.com. Man, Jesse, from being in the first main event of Front Street Fights to now main eventing and now having the hardware around your waist, this one's got to feel pretty good to you, my man.
It does. You know, I really just wanted to win it for my gym more than myself. You know, we've got such an awesome group of people there. You know, my training partners, my coaches, all the students. So, you know, I really wanted to win this for them. I don't know how many fights I have left in me, but, you know, it's nice to be able to get out here and do this and, you know, do the things I love and just have a real good supportive crowd here. You know, it means a lot to me. So this was really for them and all the people that helped me out.
And speak to the fight you just had there with Noah, this fight going the distance. First time that Noah Ali's had to go past 3 rounds. What did you see in your opponent tonight?
He was a stud. You know, in one of his interviews, he talked about he didn't think I'd be able to hold him down easily. And, you know, I kind of took that as a challenge, and he was right. He was very, very good at getting back up, really good at controlling my wrist. Just, you know, I felt kind of a step behind in a lot of the exchanges on the ground, and it made me earn it. You know, about halfway through the first round, I figured I had to start controlling my breathing. I just knew I was going to be in for a long night, you know, and I had to pick my spots carefully. And worthy opponent, and it was a pleasure to fight him.
All right, finally, any sponsors you want to thank? We know you thank the gym already, but any final thank yous you want to give out before we get out of here?
Absolutely. All my sponsors, I'm going to forget because I got hit a few times in the head, but everything on the back of my shirt, Prehab Health and Performance, Tiger 2, Garden of Life, Grit Mouth Guards, everybody in SBG or worldwide, and my manager, Alfred Benson over at Fight Path. You know, I want to give a shout out too to my nephew. He made it in today. He's 4 years old, first fight. I don't know where he is, but glad to have you here, Ethan. This is for you.
All right, congratulations, JSC. Go celebrate with the gym tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your new Front Street Fights Bantamweight champion, Jesse